China increasingly has insisted that UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 settled, in its view, once and for all, as a matter of international law, the status of Taiwan. And there are a couple of problems with that argument. UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 did not purport to settle the question of Taiwan. Indeed, it never mentions Taiwan. It basically transfers the Chinese seat at the UN from the Republic of China government, or as the resolution called it, the representatives of Chiang Kai-shek, from Taipei to Beijing. And indeed, at the time, Zhou Enlai professed displeasure and discontent with the then draft resolution because it left the question of Taiwan unsettled. There's really no ability of the UN to decide questions of territorial sovereignty and questions of whether Taiwan is or is not part of China. And indeed, the UN Secretary General, from the beginning of the UN era, has said it's not a matter for the UN to decide to recognize or not recognize states, to recognize or not recognize governments. That is the prerogative of individual member states. China has secured statements of legal opinions from within the UN that say the proper reference to Taiwan is Taiwan province of China, and that Taiwan is, for all intents and purposes, part of China. Beijing obviously has been very happy with that kind of language. It has pushed for it. It was behind those memoranda to some degree, and it has indeed cited one of those two, the Office of Legal Affairs memoranda, in its 2022 white paper. And the UN position is that it's not in the business of deciding Taiwan's international status. The documents don't do what China likes to say they do. The memorandum in question here came up in the context of Nauru, which then had diplomatic relations with the ROC, submitting a human rights report in which it thanked Taiwan without using the language Taiwan, province of China. And the ultimate resolution in that OLA memorandum was to say, yes, for UN documents, it should say Taiwan province of China. But when a member state like Nauru submits a document that uses some other language, the UN has to receive that document as written. And the only appropriate thing to do other than simply receive that document as written is to have a footnote that says this language does not express a view of the UN either way on these more fraught questions of sovereignty and so on.